Hey everybody, welcome to Epic Empire. I am sick right now, so I look sick. I feel awful, but I did work out this morning. I'm doing a group with my personally sponsored coaches where I sent them a message in our separate page, and I said, you know what? I know some of you guys signed on with me to be your coach, and I feel like sometimes when you introduce the business side of it, you tend to lose the coach side, and I still want to be your coach in terms of your fitness journey. Anyways, fast forward, I created a separate challenge group for my personally sponsored coaches so that we would hold each other accountable for our workouts. If you're not in that and you're my PS coach, go join it. It's in the PS coach page. But this morning I posted, I don't know, kind of have a cough, I don't feel good, I don't know if I'm going to work out. And Jessica was like, girl, you better go sweat it out. And I was like, oh, dang. Okay. And I got up and I did Pilates. I didn't do anything too intense, but I still got a good core workout in. And I didn't actually sweat, but I got a good workout. Anyways, so I'm not feeling great. So I have a great call recording that I want to do for you. But first, we're going to do some recognition and announcements. All right, so we have our Success Club numbers for the month of October. You guys did amazing. Hopefully you updated the document so that I can read off the proper numbers because that's where I'm getting these from. If you're new, I got like phlegm and all kinds of crap going on. Don't play that on the internet. If you like my bloopers reel, if you haven't seen that, go to my wall and watch it. It's quite funny. If you're new to the team, welcome. If you have no clue what the heck Success Club is, just so you know, if you sell a challenge pack, it's 2 points. If you sell Shakeology Home Direct, which is the auto ship, it's 1 point, and that's where these numbers are coming from. And we try to make it a non-negotiable to find 3 people a month to join our challenge groups and to help them on their fitness journey. So we have Holly at 4 points, Amy O'Rear at 1 point. This is the month of October. Alyssa at 2 points, Beth at 1 point, Selena Torres at 2 points, Brittany McGowan at 2 points, Jenny Bradshaw at 4 points, Lee Renee, it says 1 coach. I don't know if she got points for that, but it says 1 coach. Elizabeth Carney, 6 points. So this is Success Club 5. This is where your non-negotiable should be. So congrats to everybody who got in Success Club 5. Elizabeth Carney at 6 points, Annette at 5 points, Tracy Cameron at 6 points, Derek Maybe, I think he pulled it in like the last day of the month. He was awesome. He got 6 points. Carla Perry at 8 points, Brittany Fleetwood at 8 points, Ren Young at 6 points, and then we have myself at 6 points, making sure I'm accountable to my Success Club, Victoria Carter rocking at 6 points, and then we have our Coach of the Month, Rebecca Thompson at 11 points, leading the charts. Brand new coach, went Emerald her first month, hit Success Club 10, 11, her first month. And guess what? She's already leading the charts for the month of November. Can we say rock star? And I didn't chase her down. She followed me on Facebook for a while and then chose to do this herself. So congratulations, Rebecca. You will get a lovely Epic Empire sweater. You can make it super cute by doing an off the shoulder thing. Just kidding. Anyways, it's super comfy. Oh, by the way, it's got these cute little, if you get Coach of the Month or Diamond or something, you get these cute little holes in it right here. It's awesome. I literally, if you look at my Facebook page, I'm wearing it every other day. It's really bad. But I do have 3 of my own. All right, so that is our October numbers. Fantastic. Sorry. If you have not heard, this is top secret information. The DC Super Saturday, we're getting Carl Deichler, the CEO of the company, at our Super Saturday. So if you're in the DC market or if you're 2 hours away, you should come. You should make the trip. 6 hours. Julie's coming 6 hours away. You should totally come. We've had people from Myrtle Beach drive all the way up. You can stay at my house or I'll get a condo, something. You should come. But the problem is as soon as we announce Carl's coming, within 2 days it's going to be sold out. So if you plan on coming to the Super Saturday and it has not been announced yet that he's coming, I would get your tickets. I don't know this officially, but possibly Tony Horton as well. So possibly either Tony Horton or Autumn Calabrese. We're not real sure yet what trainer he's going to be bringing. Typically, when Carl travels to a Super Saturday, he comes along with one of the celebrity trainers. So we're crossing our fingers. We have 2 new programs coming out, Hammer and Chisel and Boot. What's the name of it? Boot 22 or Boot Camp? I don't know. Josh is excited about it. You should know, Libby. You're a military chick. It's like 22 minutes. That's all I know. Boot Camp 22. I don't know. But with those 2 programs coming out, one of those trainers will probably be with Carl. If not, it's okay. We still have Carl. So get your ticket to Super Saturday like yesterday, because we just raised the prices $10 like a few hours ago. I bought my mom's ticket at the full price. I was like, oh, that sucks. Anyways, all right. So if you're not in DC, make sure you go to one that is located near your city. Like if you're in Sacramento, California, there are Super Saturdays out there. Go find one at the closest, biggest city close to you. Jason, I hope you can make it for ours. I know you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, correct? You're not too far from my brother. My brother's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's on the call as well. All right.
Yeah, I'm in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So close enough to Raleigh, though. Yeah.
There you go. He's a huge Duke fan, so. All right. We have a lot going on for the month of October. We have our new coach training that is currently on day 1, 2, 3, right? Yes. Libby, I'm like, right? New coach training that started on November 2nd. So if you have signed a new coach, make sure they're in there, and don't just put them in there and leave them. Get in there and make sure they are doing the assignments, liking, commenting. If they comment with a question, don't leave it to Libby to answer their question. You should be there mentoring them. That's why they signed on with you. I want you to make sure you're mentoring your coaches in our new coach training, because eventually this team is going to continue to get so big that at some point there might not be a bird's nest to stay in. You know what I mean? I'll sign my new coaches and I'll help them out, and then they will learn to do it, and then they, you know what I mean? So I want you guys to start learning to mentor your own coaches so you can start running your own team. We're still going to be a family. We're still going to be a team, but I want to encourage you and not enable it. You know what I mean? Anyways, so make sure you're in the new coach training, helping the coaches that you put in there. I posted a calendar that gives everything that I'm going to be doing for the month. You guys are welcome to follow my pattern. I'm going to try to stay with this organization that I'm really terrible at, but I've been flying by the seat of my pants for 3 years, and it's got me somewhere. Could you imagine if I was actually organized, what I could do? So I'm going to try really hard to really stick to a system. I'm kind of following Melanie Mitro's system, which obviously is working for her. If you were at Summit, when they gave out elite points, they said the number 2 was at like, I don't know, 1,200 points. And then they said Melanie Mitro was at 2,700 points. Like number 2 wasn't even close to Melanie Mitro. So there's something she's doing that is rocking. And I have 135 points. So that tells you how big her organization is. All right. So on November 11th, I will start advertising for the new coach sneak peek that will start on the 16th. This is all on the calendar, so you can go into Epic Empire and print that out and put it on your desk. You can advertise the new coach, or not new coach, this coaching at a glance, sneak peek, whatever you want to call it. You can advertise that and then put people in the sneak peek together. And when we'll just post the normal videos that we post, but you advertise that as you as the brand, as you as the person inviting them into it. You don't have to wait for me to do anything for you. You don't have to use my picture. Totally make something for yourself, because you're presenting yourself as a business owner and as somebody that is worth following. So make sure you go out on the 11th. That's usually an 8 o'clock post or 7:30 in the morning post. And then, of course, you can comment on it and stuff like that. I like to put the link. Some people are really scared about putting links in there, but I'm still not scared yet. I put the Facebook group link, which we will have available for you, to the coaching at a glance. Let's see what else. Oh, during the week of the Coaching at a Glance, we are going to do a business opportunity call, which is on the 19th. It's a Thursday. And that would be if you have a coach that's in the Coaching at a Glance and you invited them, I encourage you to be on the business opportunity call because they need to see your face. They need to see that you're there present and leading. It'll be myself and maybe one other coach who will present the business and then with like PowerPoint presentation and then answer questions to anybody who has questions. And it's such a nice thing to see in this format, this like Zoom format, and then I'll share my screen with different PowerPoint presentations, which we've used before. But it's nice when they see our face because it's less fake, more real because you're talking one-on-one, face-to-face. But that's on the 19th. New challenge group, the Holiday Hotness is the one that I'm going to be running. You guys are welcome to join in. If you're doing your own thing, that's totally cool too. You're an awesome leader. That starts on November 30th. I'm waiting until after Thanksgiving to start a challenge group. So you can actively be promoting on the 30th. If you have any follow-ups to do, you can go back to your follow-ups and say, on the 30th, I'm starting a challenge group, and guess what? We're going to look good at Christmas. We're going to stop hiding behind people during pictures. You're going to feel amazing at your Christmas party. Things like that, relatable things when you advertise, sorry. And that starts on the 30th. Now, sorry, I have a lot of news because we're actually getting organized. We have a Push to Diamond group that's starting on November 9th. All of this is on the calendar, so if you're like, I can't keep track of all these dates, it's all on the calendar, print it out. November 9th. If you are an Emerald coach or above, you are welcome to join this group. If you're like, I'm an Emerald coach, but I really want to like put my coaches in it too, we will be running a Push to Diamond group with the Emerald coaches and above, and simultaneously running a Push to Emerald group for those coaches that you've signed that are interested in pursuing Emerald. Okay, so we're going to teach you how to do a Push to Emerald group while we're doing a Push to Diamond group. Sounds kind of confusing, but I got it all written randomly on a piece of paper, so it's going to make total sense. Just kidding. Kelly's involved. We're good. She's my organized queen. She's my mini Melanie Nitro. I'm just kidding. So make sure you get into the Push to Diamond if you're an Emerald coach and you're on Home Direct, so you have to be an active Emerald coach. And then we will get your coaches started off right. We'll teach you how to do Coaching at a Glance. Coaching at a Glance. We'll teach you how to do a GSR, which is a Getting Started Right call. All of that we're going to cover in there. So it's going to be amazing. I don't know what you guys are saying in the chat, but I just saw my name. So hopefully did I miss something? Feel free to unmute if you're like, what? Wait, what? What did you say? All right, so that's all of our news. Hopefully I covered everything. I want to do a recorded call, one, because I feel like crap, and two, I'm coughing like crazy. But I was talking to Jimmy Hayes Nelson before we got on this call, and we were just talking about a few things in the business. And I said, you know, what is a good call that you've done that covers this, this, and this? And he had done this, and he said, you know, he told me about it, and he says, you've done a call for me a while back. I think it was probably, Jason, you might have been on when Jimmy joined our call as a guest speaker, but it was probably like a year and a half ago. It was a long time, maybe 2 years ago, because I think Lori was with me, but it was not recorded. Anyway, so this is a Super Saturday presentation that he did, and it was phenomenal. And I hope you guys, I know it's a recording. Sometimes you can get a little like, oh, la la land, and looking at your phone because we're not looking at each other as much. I hope that you will take time to sit and listen to it, because I listened to the whole thing tonight before the call. Again, I love it, and I learned a lot. I took notes, so I hope you do too. So let me share my screen. And if you're a guy on this call, you need to listen, because Jimmy is a phenomenal speaker, and he's male. And this is my desktop. Isn't it fabulous? Sorry. So organized. All right, we're going to bring this up to the beginning. Now, let me introduce Jimmy, even though he's not, I can't see you guys. That really sucks. I don't know. Can you see this, Libby? I can't see you, so. Okay. So Jimmy Hayes Nelson is an 11-star diamond coach. He's been in the network for a little while now, and he's had his ups and downs, and he's publicly had his ups and downs. He was also in the Insanity Workout. He was in PIO, and he'll talk about that a little bit in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and push play. I think they just introduced them, and then we'll listen in.
So I think you can tell me a bit about Jimmy. He's a multiple league coach. He's currently an 11-star diamond with 17 personally sponsored lifetime diamonds. Who's doing bio? You've seen Jimmy and worked up with Jimmy. And if you've done Insanity, he's the guy with the good squats. Jimmy's got that good squat. So let's hit that music. Welcome to the stage, 11-star diamond, Mr. Jimmy Hayes. Thank you. Has this been valuable to you guys so far? These speakers are awesome. Get up there again. Everybody just come so far. I love practice. Like I said before, I've been a coach for 7 years, and I'm sitting here taking notes like I'm a brand new coach. So I really hope that you're taking notes, that you have a plan of action, that along the side of your notes, you have a to-do list, the things you're going to put into action. Because the worst thing that happens is you come to something like this, you invest in getting here, and then it just stays here. You stay in learning mode, and you never activate. So you need to know what you're doing when you leave here. What are the to-dos? Daniel gave homework. And I was a terrible student. I'm a 3-time college dropout, but I appreciate the homework. So I thank you. I'm going to speak to you today about the 5 things I do every day, part-time, to create a multiple 6-figure income with my business. With that,
Libby, can you hear this still? Sorry, I just got a message from you, and I want to make sure everything is okay with the video.
It's like it's on high speed somehow.
Maybe if I minimize it, let me know if this works.
Wait, because what I find is that so many coaches get in here.
That's
Does that
better.
work? Okay, let me rewind just a little bit.
A terrible student. I'm a 3-time college dropout, but I appreciate the homework. So I thank you. I'm going to speak to you today about the 5 things I do every day, part-time, to create a multiple 6-figure income with my business. Would that be helpful? Great. Because what I find is that so many coaches get in here and you see a lot of these trainings and you get overwhelmed. And you have all these great ideas and no direction, no place to like, where am I going to go from here? First of all, I'm going to tell you that word, overwhelmed, drives me nuts as a sponsoring coach. Does anybody ever have a coach come to you and say, oh, I feel really overwhelmed. I don't know that I can do this. I'm here to tell you lovingly from the bottom of my heart that being overwhelmed is a choice. That the way we lay this out, the steps that we're giving you, you can take in little bite-sized pieces and activate those, or you can run them all at the same time. But being overwhelmed and just stopping really is a choice, right? So what I want to do is take some of the mystery out of what's busy work and what's production. Like, where are we moving forward? And this, what I call the Power 5, I actually borrowed from not this past summit, but last year's summit. Who was that? Not the summit we just had, but the year before. Okay, you remember John Maxwell talking, and I love his speech because he said people always ask him, how have you written so many books? How have you done all the things that you accomplished? And he sat there and figured out that he did 5 things every day. And people would ask him, really, every day, like on your birthday? Yeah, that's a day. Like on holidays and stuff? Yeah, that's a day. But he knew the 5 things he needed to do every day to continue to move forward towards his goals. And I thought about that, and I'm like, that guy's written a lot of books and he's done a lot of amazing things. But when you just have to get 5 things done in a day, doesn't seem so daunting, right? It doesn't seem so overwhelming. So I sat there in the audience at Summit, and he gave his 5 things, you know, as writing and things. And I think we had the 3 vital behaviors, but I asked, I was like, man, what's my Power 5? What's the 5 things that I've done to create the business my wife and I run now? What?
I can't see you guys, but Somebody's saying that it's really echoey. Can you guys hear it okay? I can't see you. If you can hear okay, will you give Libby a thumbs up, and then Libby, can you tell me if everybody can hear it? Bummer if it doesn't work. Otherwise, I might have to just share the video. Hold on. I can't see or hear anything. Did I totally lose you guys? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Hey, I can see your faces.
Okay.
Could you guys not hear it?
Muted. Everyone's muted except me. You guys, if you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up, please?
Okay, could you hear the video, Jason? Give me a thumbs up. It was choppy? Really? It sounds fine to me, but it's coming from my... Rebecca, could you hear it? Oh, well, poop, I don't want to waste y'all's time. Okay. Okay.
Sometimes it's clear, but then other times it has an echo to it.
Okay.
So it's kind of off and on.
All right. Hold on just a minute. I had two anyway, so I'll do the other one. Where is it?
I was going to watch it on my computer while you guys are watching.
I know. Jimmy sent them both to me. Hold on. I'll just go to the conversation. I want to say it was this one. My internet.
Your internet.
This one was really good too.
For some reason, your signal seems choppy.
Crappy.
When I was
Can you
in
hear this
the
one?
third grade,
It's choppy.
And of course, it's not playing.
Yeah.
Oh, it plays.
hey, my name is Coach Jimmy. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to tell you why to subscribe.
Oh, you know what? That's hold on. That's YouTube. That's a stupid YouTube channel. Okay, well, I will post that video in Epic Empire. This is a really good speech. If you didn't hear it on the live call when he was on, I don't know if I can get this story to play that he gave me.
When I was in the third grade, I was introduced
Might
to
freeze
an
up, though.
addiction that brought me tons of joy and has
It's my internet.
every day of my life. Because you see, when I was in the third grade, our elementary school.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send this to you, Libby.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you screen share. Because we're losing time here. Hold on. Gotta love technical difficulties. It's fabulous. And let me stop my screen share. I can find you guys. I hate this computer. I love it, but I hate it. Oh, there we are. Hi, you're back.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming.
This is a great story.
Here we go.
You guys see Lindsay water bottle she won? Isn't that cute? It's actually no picture. It's just audio, but you can leave it like that. That's fine.
Third grade, I was introduced to an addiction.
Turn your volume up.
Tons of joy and has haunted me every day of my life.
Because you see, when I was in the 3rd grade, our elementary school was doing a Christmas play. And my 3rd grade class was picked to do a musical number called Too Fat for the Chimney. It was a gripping story about how Santa might not show up this Christmas because he's gotten too fat for the chimney. And not everybody in the class could be in the musical number, just a few people. So the teacher started picking roles. And my best friend, Justin Smith, got the coveted role of Santa Claus, and it was awesome. And what they did is they put him in a full Santa outfit, and he was kind of a skinny guy, so they put a big pillow around him so he could fill it out, and he was the Santa that was too fat for the chimney. Some of the other kids in the class, they were decked like head to toe in 1980s aerobics gear, like full-on Jane Fonda, headband, leg warmers. The louder the colors, the better. And this whole scene was happening like upstage, like all the way towards the back of the stage, at the center of the stage, where they were taking Santa through an aerobic routine to try to help him lose the weight. However, yours truly was also selected to be in this number. Except I didn't get to be up in the safety of with all my friends in the aerobics number where you could hide behind somebody if you forgot your dance step or whatever. No. I had to come all the way downstage. So picture in your mind a high school cafeteria, and they have the stage there. And I am all the way down at the corner left of the stage, staring out into an audience of students in feety pajamas, like the full-on zip-up feety pajamas with the drop bottom, like in the back where your butt could show if the button came undone. My granny made these, like homemade for me, plus a stocking cap. And I couldn't watch my friends, and I had to stare into a sea of people and sing a solo, the song, Too Fat for the Chimney. And in the middle of that terrifying moment, when I opened my mouth and started to sing that song, I was introduced to my addiction. Because you see, in the midst of that song, the look and the reaction I got from the audience was the very first time I ever got a positive response from a peer group of mine. And I realized, oh my goodness, I can do something that gets an emotional response from not only an audience, but an audience of people that I hadn't always got a positive response from. Because you see, I grew up a really obese child. And this is where this addiction
it's probably been
had a double-edged sword. Because all of a sudden, in that moment, I knew what I was meant to do the rest of my life.
Sorry.
And I hated it at the same time because I hated the body that I was in and was so uncomfortable to be in front of people. You know that thing that you know you're supposed to do. You know you're meant to do something greater in life than what you're doing right now. But there's some fear, there's some outside thing that's telling you right now that you can't do it. You know you were designed for this. You're like, if I only blank, I would get that done. And right there in that moment, you thought of something. I want you to write that down. Smart people take notes to go back and reference those. And right in that moment, your reason, your excuse, your demon, your trap spoke to you right then. So as you're writing that sentence, it's, I know I'm supposed to blank, fill that out, but I can't because blank. And it was in that moment that what scared me is I knew I had potential. I was told it all growing up after that moment. Jimmy, you have so much potential. Again, crazy double-edged sword. Awesome, I have potential. What if I never achieve it? What if I never do that great thing that was born in me, that was gifted to me by God to do, to impact people, to change lives? Who am I letting down? Am I letting myself down? Am I letting those people whose lives I could potentially change with this gift? Am I letting God down? Am I letting my family down? The heritage, the gifts that I got from, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousins, uncles, that, all of this, this heritage that mixed together to make the unique mixture that was me, that is you. And so many of us go through life thinking, what if we don't reach that potential? You know that thing that's been spoken into you over and over again, that thing you know that you're gifted at, that you continue to mute because you don't want to stand out, or you're afraid somebody's going to judge you, or you're maybe not really that great at it yet. God knows I wasn't that great on stage that day in the third grade. In fact, I used to have an actual physical tick. My very first audition, I can remember it like it was yesterday. My first audition going into college, I decided this is what I was going to do with my life. I wanted to perform, and I was 100 pounds overweight. And right the first week of school, we had auditions for a play, and you were supposed to memorize a monologue, get up on this giant stage in the theater, and perform this monologue. And I, for the life of me, couldn't memorize a monologue. I wasn't very good at preparation. And I went on stage with a script in my hand, something to look at, which I wasn't supposed to do, and got on stage and was so nervous that I physically had a leg twitch, like a physical twitch that you could see when I was on stage. Why in the world would I continue to pursue this thing? I was no good at it. But there was something in my gut that said, Jimmy, you're designed to do this. There was fear. Not only was there fear, there was physical limitations that said, this is not in your future, Nelson. You're an obese guy who has a physical, like, twitch, awkwardness to you to do this thing. I had every reason to quit, every reason not to pursue this dream. But something in my gut told me it's time to go forward. I remember after I was introduced to Beachbody and I was able to, change my body using things like Power 90 and P90X to enough where I got enough confidence to move to New York City. My wife and I moved to New York City, and I was going to pursue this dream of being a musical theater performer. And I was auditioning on a daily basis for Broadway shows and, tours and TV shows and stuff. And my wife was the breadwinner the first few years that I was a coach. Yet I felt like I needed to contribute to the household some way because auditioning doesn't pay any money. And I remember it was right about the time I'd signed up. I'd been a coach for a little bit, but I don't know that I treated this thing like a business. It was just kind of that thing over there, that thing over there that got me a discount, and there were some cool people. And I remember occasionally I would do promotional gigs. And for those who don't know, the promotional gigs, sometimes I would be in a department store doing a coffee demonstration from like a home coffee maker. And sometimes it was passing out flyers. But I remember this one particular morning, I had to get up at 5 a.m., take a train into Times Square. So for those of you that have been to Times Square before in New York City, or you've at least seen pictures of the movies, right? It's like the hub. It's the middle of the most populated the city in the world, right? Everybody knows New York City. Like, that's the heartbeat, I think, of the world, is like Times Square, New York City. And I had to show up there, and I was given a Newsies outfit. So I don't know if you remember the movie Newsies, right? It was like this group of paper boys, and they had like the funny kind of little hat and the little knicker pants, and I had to literally, now granted, I'm a 30-year-old man at this point, married, 30 years old, 5 o'clock in the morning, having to put on this Newsies outfit and pass out chocolate to the oh-so-friendly people of New York City at 6 a.m. People that obviously wanted me to jump in their way on their way to work and try to pan them a box of chocolate. It by far was the worst morning of my life. I've never had more people scowl at me, look at me, just say derogatory things. And in that moment, I thought, I am a grown-ass man, married, wanting to start a family, passing out chocolates in the middle of Times Square. This sucks. I've got to do something different. That little thing over there that I've just been toying with is my way out. And that's the day I got serious about this business. Now, I told you that I was going to share with you today something that you could use today to change your business. Regardless if you signed up to be a coach right before this call, or you've been doing it as long as I have, which is now over 8 years. Somewhere in the midst of my story on third grade on stage, or this story of me feeling completely like useless in my marriage in Times Square in New York City, there was a moment somewhere that you found yourself in my story. Maybe you never got on a stage in third grade and had to sing to people in beady pajamas. Maybe you never got in a Newsies outfit in Times Square. But there was something in my story that clicked in your gut, and you were able to relate with me. You knew who I was in those stories. Neither were stories of me bragging on my accomplishments. Neither were anything about the laundry list of things that you heard when I was introduced in this call. The thing you have right now, if you will choose to embrace it and share it, is your story. Not your story once you hit that rank. Not your story once you hit that physical body type. Not your story when you hit elite, or you're an after photo, or you're in a video, or whatever it is that you're waiting to hit first before you start sharing. I'm going to share a quote with you. The quote goes, "The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation that is to come." Steve Jobs. And my little take on that is the storyteller has nothing to do with your weight, with your rank, with your experience, or your income. Your story is your power. That piece of your story that you're so ashamed of, that you've said, this is why I can't be successful. When I had you write that sentence out earlier, I was meant to do blank, but I can't because blank. If you will share the second blank of that story in the midst of it, you will have people follow you. You will have people constantly be inspired by you. You will have people filling your inbox saying, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that. I feel the same way. I thought I was the only person. Like, what we do as coaches is truly, and you've heard me speak before, you've heard me say this, is truly to deliver hope to people that desperately need it. By you just trying to share your highlight reel, or trying to emulate other coaches' posts because it's pretty and all they show is like the perfect time, and you think everybody's coaching career is just all, sunshine and roses, you're desperately mistaken. Because those coaches have just chose to show you their highlight reel. I'm going to get real with you. No highlight reel. This is Jimmy Reel. 90% of the stuff that we do as coaches, the people that you see that have successful businesses, 90% of what we do is super mundane, kind of sucks, and isn't exciting at all. In the middle of that time, when I was standing in Times Square trying to hand chocolates to somebody, and I decided, this sucks, I'm not doing this, I'm not living this way anymore, I'm going to do something about it, I made a secondary decision then. And it wasn't, I'm going to try this coaching thing. It wasn't like, well, let's give this a shot for 6 months or 1 month or a year. It was, I'm in. I don't care if I never make $1 with this thing. I'm going to learn how it works. Other people have done it, so why not me? Why not you? That's what I'm asking you right now. And somewhere the why not you probably has to do with the second part of that sentence on the excuse that you listed. So why not share that story now? Why do we feel like we have to get past that excuse part before we can start sharing? I don't know how many of you follow me on social media or know my story about Summit, but, it wasn't that long ago that I probably had my most humbling moment in my life and on social media, which I chose to make super public, and which was a story of me having an extremely intoxicated evening at Summit and getting punched in the eye and having to walk around Summit for the next 3 or 4 days with a black eye. My inbox was packed with thank yous, with well wishes, with people saying, I'm right there with you and I've never said anything. They weren't messaging me because I'm a 13-star diamond coach. They weren't filling my inbox thinking, hey, Jimmy, loved you in Insanity as a good squats guy. Or, wow, you look great in Pio. Quit chasing fame, man. I did that for a long time. I was Beachbody famous way before I ever did anything with this business. And you know what? It doesn't pay jack. People knew who I was on an infomercial, but I couldn't bring my wife home from her job. So was it worth it? I chased fame for a long time in this business, guys. And it's a nice ego stroke for a minute, but it's shallow and it's hollow. And if you get it while you're building your business, bonus. But stop chasing that. Stop only trying to share the highlight reel of things. Get real with people. You know, I was just recently at an event this past weekend with Bo Eason. And if you don't know Bo, you need to. Look him up. And we did an entire weekend about talking about the power of our story. And he reminded me of something that I already knew. But he was talking about stories. You know, just epic stories. What stories do we just rally around? What are the stories that we love? And he said it's always the underdog, little guy, you know, David versus Goliath, Rocky versus Apollo Creed, Rudy versus the coaching staff that were trying to cut him. Let me ask you something. Does anybody ever choose Goliath? Like, does anybody literally go, dude, I hope Goliath squashes that little David dude? Does anybody root for Apollo Creed over Rocky? No. Audiences love the underdog. Audiences love the flawed character trying to fight and claw their way out of their current circumstance, which is you. That's you right now. I know it is because it's still me. There's still things I'm clawing through. There's still things I'm fighting for, so I'm going to share it. You know why? Because I'm going to get through this thing and I'm going to bring some people along with me. I'm not going to wait till I'm on the other side, because who knows if I ever make it to the other side. And people can't relate with me when I'm on the other side. People can't relate with you on the other side. They want to know right now why you're struggling with that weight thing that you're kind of on and off and on and off. You've fallen off the wagon for the third time this month. Why? Because they did too, and they need to know somebody else is in their corner. They need to know somebody else needs to know. You know, I've been doing this coaching thing for a year, and I'm still not making money, and I'm barely hanging on to Emerald right now. But you know what? I'm going for a diamond coach. I know that's where I want to go. I'm looking for some, you know, I'm not polished. I'm flawed. I'm looking for a few flawed teammates to come with me and just claw this thing up together. Why not? Why are you so worried about being perfect? When's the last time you chased perfection? I mean, you followed perfection. People want to be led by someone with scar tissue. That's who we root for. That's who we cheer for. And you know what? You can be that person to somebody right now. Tonight, when we hang up the phone here, you can reach out and share the flawed story. But I'm going to tell you this. Share, but don't dump. It's not a woe is me. Don't be Eeyore. There's no time for Eeyores in this. You know, Eeyore, the donkey's like, thanks for noticing me, and he just feels sorry for himself. Nobody's inspired by that crap. What they're inspired by is, look, this is my current situation, but this is where I'm heading. I'm choosing not to give up. Here's where I'm going. Does anybody want to come with me? But stop waiting till your story's perfect. Your story's perfect right now. You just haven't told it yet. You're too busy trying to be like that coach that you saw in the National Wake Up Call, or that coach is on your team that every time they do a post, you go try to copy it somehow. You know why it works for them? Because it's their post. It's their story. You're underestimating your story. Your story may kick that story's ass, and you just don't know it. Because that story looks polished. Because that story looks Pollyanna. Because that story looks like a Hallmark greeting card. I don't want to follow a Hallmark greeting card. That's not what I'm inspired by. Audiences choose David. Be David. Stop trying to be Goliath. For the love of God, stop being Goliath. And it's happened. There's too much of that in the network right now. This kind of celebrity culture of everybody going, man, someday I'm going to be the flashy person. I'm going to be. So they think they got to get there before they can start sharing their story. I said it once, I'm going to say it again. People want to be led by somebody with scar tissue. You have it. I have it. That's what makes us human beings. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to share your story. Tonight, tomorrow. It doesn't have to be long. You can keep it short. It didn't take me long to tell you my third grade story. What it drives me, right? I knew I was supposed to be in front of people. Had a lot of insecurities, but I kept fighting through. And I'm still working on that today. You know, that's a quick sentence. I would would love for you to fly by my Facebook page tonight. Just go to Coach Jimmy, facebook.com/Coach Jimmy, and share with me your story, right? Let's all share our dirty flipping stories together because we have power in team, right? It's Team Beachbody, right? You're a part of a team. You're not isolated. So we can all sit around the social media campfire and share, one of my favorite things to do with, and guys do this a lot, is when guys get around other guys with I have a reconstructed right knee from a basketball injury when I was in ninth grade. And anytime somebody, sees the scars, they're like, okay, tell me the story. And we as guys get all right, what's yours? How's yours? What's this? What's that? So let's get together and share scars and talk about why we're not allowing that scar to define us, why we keep plugging in, why we haven't quit, why quitting's not an option, why we're going to be in this thing forever and ever and ever, regardless of what Thursdays say or what our back office rank says. The minute you'll just let go of that and share your story with the intention of impacting somebody else who feels isolated right now. And you may be thinking, I know what you're thinking right now, Jimmy. Nobody's story's like mine, or my story's not big enough, or nobody cares. Lies, make lies, liars. You've got to get rid of that. I don't care if it's a baby story. I don't care if it's a big, hairy, nasty, embarrassing story. Both touch people. But if you don't share it, somebody's life isn't impacted. And that's crazy selfish of you. And you didn't get in this thing to be selfish. You got in this thing to impact other lives. You got into it to improve your life. But there's a part of you, when you signed up with the word coach by your name, that you took on the mantle to inspire somebody else as well. That's going to happen when you share your story. And the only way you're going to get better at sharing your story is by practicing it. I totally sucked at all this when I started. Come with me. Be the fat kid on stage shaking with a piece of paper in his hand, because you're not in this alone. I was on that stage all by myself. You're not on this one. You're not on this one by yourself. So I want you to stop by my Coach Jimmy page, share your story. And we can all share stories, right? And talk about, this is what I did, but this is why I plugged in. This is why I became a coach. This is what I find in this community. Even if my stats aren't there yet, or my weight loss isn't there yet, or whatever excuse and BS thing that you told yourself on why you can't be successful yet. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission to be successful. Just share where you are today. Hey, I signed up to do this thing. I got my good days, I got my bad days, but I'm still looking for people to inspire because this thing has helped me in this way. You're so powerful. And your story's so powerful. Quit downplaying it. You got to share it every day. And I look forward to hearing your story, and I look forward to impacting more lives. And thank you for your time tonight.
Hey guys. All right. So I thought that was pretty amazing. First of all, don't go share your story on his page. I don't know how beneficial that would be for you to for your audience.
Episode of Training Camp with Coach Jimmy. I have the lovely Chelsea Pearson here. She's an Instagram expert, and she's going to teach you.
It automatically plays the video after. You just gotta close the tab.
I'm going.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll share the one that I was going to share with the five tips plus one is what he calls it, which is really an amazing video as well. But I hope it encourages you to share your story. I mean, I hadn't heard this call before I started posting about my SAD, which I deal with, which is, the winter blues or whatever you want to call it. I literally have, I'm not joking, I have my light here that I sit in front of when I'm working. And this time of year makes me struggle. And it's crazy how many people private message me and say, what kind of vitamins do you take? What kind of light do you have? Can you share me the Amazon link? That's a connection that I'm making with people just by sharing a vulnerability of mine. And that working out is actually a part of my solution as well. And so I can incorporate that instead of just talking about, hi, I'm the fit girl. Hi, I'm super fit. Hey, look at my abs. I can actually say, you know what, this sucks. And I'm going to work out, and it actually makes me feel a little bit better, but I'm still going to have my light, and I'm still going to do my vitamin D. but it's something, and it's a struggle of mine. It makes me more real. It makes me less, cookie cutter, fake person that's not, nobody could ever reach. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that person on social media. You want to share your vulnerabilities. And that's why I loved Jimmy's speech. Yeah, look at my abs. I mean, I do have some pretty sweet abs, but I worked really hard for them. They didn't come overnight because guess what? I had 2 C-sections. I had a belly before that. Anyways, I love you guys. Go get some sleep. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to try to get up at 5 a.m. and work out. Continue your progress on your transformation. If you guys are not transforming your bodies, you're not proving that the products work, and nobody wants to follow something that they don't feel like works, okay? So I want you guys to be consistent with your workout. Don't promote Shakeology and not drink it, okay? Every day, drink Shakeology. So don't sit there and preach something you're not doing. That makes you a fake. Don't do that. Drink your Shakeology. Do your workout. Make sure you pick some sort of personal development 10 minutes a day, and make sure you get out there and invite and be vulnerable on social media. Love you guys. Peace out.